And as I uncover the regulations and the different annexes of these different documents, I realize they know what they know what they're doing. I found that every few years, there's a new way of thinking about XRP that entirely reshapes the conversation. This one for me might be the biggest yet, because in my research, I've discovered that XRP needs to be categorized as this one thing in order for it to run the new financial system. If we get this classification wrong, it could mean XRP's role in this new financial system ends right here. Welcome back to the macro. In the last episode of the macro, we looked at the $500 million deal that was done between Ripple and Citadel and Fortress. And really, we asked the question, what is this money actually for? How is it going to be used? And what's its impact on XRP? But that question led me into a deeper place. And what I found hidden in the Bank of International Settlement reports, the standards for banking systems, and the latest wholesale CBDC pilots changes everything about how I see XRP fitting into this new financial system. In this episode, we are following that trail even deeper, and we're going to answer the question that entirely reframes every single assumption we've ever had about XRP. So in that last episode, we talked about how tokenization in this tokenized world where you have NASDAQ stock and then you might have Apple stock, between those two, there is a market. The regulations and the bank rules all suggest that these markets specifically in a tokenized world, must have pre-funded accounts of a specific asset or some asset that enables the conversion for the two. Meaning that XRP would either have to be given by Ripple or bought off the secondary market to put into those markets and held there frozen, only used for that specific market. Meaning you have XRP out of circulation and basically frozen away means the price of XRP would go up. And all of that kind of makes sense on paper, but the more I dove in, the more I realized that something wasn't adding up. Because what I've realized, and you know, we've had this information before, but there's kind of like knowing something and then there's knowing something. I'm in that knowing something phase now, and I'm trying to bring you along with me in the macro. But what's happening right now is that there are two different types of financial system. There is a private financial system, specifically when we talk about blockchain and crypto, and then we've got a public financial system. Now, the private system is blocking out the public system, and there are specific rules and regulations and structures that are put in place by the private section that keep out the public section. So let's go a little bit deeper and give some examples. For example, in that private area, we have the likes of JP Morgan's Onyx, okay? JP Morgan's Onyx essentially is its own settlement asset. It does the job that we've all